The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. They can tell me how we can do it together. When we look to the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting high, I wonder when it all goes now, comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. They can tell me how.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
All right. Pleasant afternoon to all my listeners, right? For some, right? Good night and good morning, right? I want to say, right, big thanks to all persons who attend class this afternoon, right? Really much appreciative of that. Now, wifey is not here with me, but she will be on the evening session. And I presume that Melting Pot will also be on the evening session. They know that I am sort of multitask, right, effective. So, they know that, of course, Mystic Sensation, can bear, right? Although I miss them very much. So anyway, that Melting Pot, big up yourself, my soldier. And wifey, well, know that wifey upstairs, busy in the kitchen, cooking up a storm. All right. Now, before we start, I have to greet my wonderful people in the chat. So let us begin. Beverly 975, Mystic Sensation, the Learning Channel. Happy Friday to you. All enough respect every time. Bless up yourself, Sister Beverly. Right, Dorrit McCoy. Right, blessings, Dorrit McCoy. Jonathan Johns 4998. Bless up yourself, and of course, Patel Krushank. Right, big up yourself, and woo! We have a new member, people. Right, please welcome Jennifer Lyons. And Sister Jennifer, I want to say big thanks to be a part of the new membership, right? So we really appreciate that. So class, big up Jennifer, right, for joining the membership. And of course, Falmouth Girl, right, another of our membership as well. Big up yourself. Veronica Shorter, right? We have Elga Fletcher, right? Michelle McCoy, Georgia Lynch, Beverly Edward, Jamayard, right? Hail up Mystic, same to you. Pamela, right? Color, blessings. Sashim Beckford, Legris Beckford, right? And let me just put up Legris thing, because Legris, definitely the lieutenant, right? Now, Marcus IV, the chat start run away, Betty and Power, Greatness, right? 42026 Florence, Denny, I believe, and Andrea Burke, right? 2573, right? So we are right. So all the persons who are tuning in while we are, dealing with the process of starting, right? We say welcome and, love from the Mystic Sensation. Now, my Jamaican people, right, both locally and in the diaspora, we have some topics that we are going to touch. Sensitive topic, And I am so happy. Last night I had done a research, and I tell you, my Jamaican people, I found a document that, trust me, the GLP, right, don't want this document to come out, And honestly, right, it speaks of certain corruption and, how vigorous the People's National Party, right, were against the corruption and the steps that they had taken. And I mean, well-researched document. I said, whoa, I have to preserve this document because I know, this morning after reading and highlight this document, they are going to want to take it down because it is not good for them. And this is a document that I want to preserve, right, for the upcoming local government election and, of course, the general election. So we'll be discussing that, right? The stigma of corruption, right? We'll be dealing with selective justice. We're also dealing with NHT and line about the economic growth, right? We'll be touching on those critical subheadings, right? So there is something that I want to speak on out there, right? And we are not going to give it any energy. And so then I'm going to try as much as possible to be brief on it, right? Let me say this. There is no separation in the People's National Party. As far as I'm concerned, right, the People's National Party is moving in unity and moving in strength and togetherness. No deflection, right, as, any sort of side piece media, Big Mama, and the rest who, right, their main objective is to preserve the status quo of criminality, right? So for me, right, in terms of, my contacts and speaking to, persons, right, the People's National Party, the unity is strong and stronger than before. All right. And we are moving in unity, right? We are moving in oneness. And that's the message that we are sending out there, because that's the reality, right? So for any persons who want to try to feed into a situation and believe that, they can separate us. No, you can't. We are stronger than before. You better believe it. So let me just play this clip to create, right, a fresh air that is out there. All right. So let me just say it loud and clear. There is no rift. No rift. So I'm not even going to even address, right, any form of situations, right, because I don't know why I'm going to address something that is not in existence. Doesn't make sense. So let me just play this, right, to show and to prove that we are okay.
To a primetime news follow-up now, the parliamentary opposition is downplaying reports about tension between former PAAC member and member of parliament for Northwestern St. Catherine Damian Crawford and the PAAC chairman for and MP for Southern Manchester Peter Bunting. Now, as Anthony Law reports, Mr. Crawford has also signaled his intention to lead the PNP one day.
Damian Crawford's resignation from the Public Administrations and Appropriations Committee, PAAC, caught many by surprise. And 24 hours after TVJ News reported that tension is brewing between Mr. Crawford and PAAC Chairman Peter Bunting, this response from PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell.
Is there a rift between the two? I don't know of that.
Crawford's decision to step away stems from issues surrounding the management of proceedings at PAAC meetings, particularly when he sought to pose questions. When our news team caught up with Mr. Crawford on Thursday, he downplayed talks of a rift, but pointed to the dynamic inside the room.
We wanted to ensure efficiency on the thing, and I've indicated that in pursuit of ambition, all persons, especially those of lower income and those who came from the grassroots, must ensure that they don't allow themselves to be trampled on in pursuit of ambition. And I thought that some of the ways that I was being dealt with was not up to my own standard. And to that extent, I decided to allow for efficiency and take myself off the committee.
Some have questioned his position, arguing that as chairman of the meetings, Mr. Bunting must seek to strike a balance while carrying out his duties. However, TVJ News understands that the issue goes deeper. Our news team also caught up with Mr. Bunting on Thursday.
I try not to take on either social media rumor or media speculation. I don't feel those things.
Despite the recent events, Mr. Crawford noted that he would not do anything to damage the party he has big plans for.
I am still a member of the team. As I've said before, I will do nothing to hurt the party for which I am a member of and for which I hope one day to lead. So we don't have a problem with that.
All right. And, let me say this, right? Let me just speak right here. So right then and there, if there was an issue in the party, who would have known? The GenSec would have known about it. The GenSec came out and categorically dismissed that. Not only the GenSec, Crawford is telling you that he's unified 100% with the team. 100% unity with the team. Right? You have seen Peter Bunting shut down some social media gossiper and propagandist. And Peter Bunting, right, did not fuel any negative energy where that is concerned. Shut it down completely. So let me say, Jamaica, right, sees the GenSec said categorically, no riff. Damien Crawford maintaining the unity. Right? Love, harmony, we're moving on. And we are telling Big Mama that yes, another one more of your many attempts and many other more attempts to come, right? And we are going to just dismiss them the way how they are to be dismissed. You're a propagandist. And we are not going to give you any energy and give you any fuel. The conversation that we will be having going forward, right, is corruption. The primary situation that we have is the Prime Minister's statutory declaration has not been certified going 4 years, and Jamaica, I am telling you, and I want you to take it from me because I don't make certain mistakes. I make sure I look, double look, triple look, and ensure. And so then what I am looking on, let me say this, Jamaica. Let me say this to everyone, right? As it relates to PSOJ, the umbrella group of church, civil society. Andrew Owen's statutory declaration will never able to certify. That is a discussion that we will not leave alone. We can't leave it alone. And the reason for that, because Andrew Owen single-handedly, as it relates to his premeditated act to come into the politics and to pilfer from the poor. What he had done is viciousness to the poor people of Jamaica. Andrew Owen and his minions in terms of their doing eroded Jamaica middle class. This is where the conversation is at. Until we eliminate this significant threat, this threat that is going to carry us down in the economic abyss. But we have news for you. When we have solid freedom fighters on social media, likes like an Andre Stevenson, likes like a Lonesome, a Melting Pot. Hold on, let me just take this call. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, go on. Greetings and blessings on your family. Yeah?
Blessings, my brother.
Yeah, sure. Just a quick word.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I want you to talk about the whole thing about the TNT and the, you know what I mean, the spinners them.
Yes.
You know, my Christian and Shane one. Those spinners them better than Shane one.
Yeah, man, them far way better than Shane one, man. Shane one from Australia. Far way better than. Yes. You're coming in a little bit choppy. So
they're trying to just, you know, create something to take away the real issues of the country.
Exactly.
Should not show them on that side.
Exactly. And we are not going to.
What I want to say is that over years I know the PNP party. And Labour Party is a one order, so when one man say anything, everybody will say it. In a PNP, we can disagree to agree and we can have your opinion. I express it, we must express it.
Yeah, well, we can just let them know that the PNP doesn't have a principle of autocracy. You understand? We are a democratic union, and so then yes.
Yeah, man, you have to say so. If you say something, you know, I don't used to say that way, say how you say it, how you need.
Exactly.
You know, no problem if I next man have different views and if I bring a full party, it shouldn't be a. But them call that roof because so them say.
Yeah, well,
one order, so and then one order, nobody else can say anything else.
Exactly.
Around the country.
Exactly. So we are not going to.
And you know what I mean? And the people for another say.
Yes.
And nobody no come out here because the Prime Minister.
Well.
My job, I just say, 35. And you don't you want them come out and say, boy, it's my leader, but it's not right to the country as a leader of the country. You know them say?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So, you know, they can express them different opinions. They must be one order.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's why the country can manage.
All right.
People must have different ideas. We're not one track, and we have different minds and great mind things alike and R&B.
Yes.
Then we would feel that we're putting little 2 cents or 1 cent and people all that side, they're listening, man. Stuff, so.
All right.
Go ahead and go back there.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. All right. Yes. Yeah. Those are the types of calls that give us the energy, you know. All right. So this is what we are going to discuss as it relates to the new tax system that comes out. All right. Let me just take one more call. This call has come in, one more call, because this is not a calling session yet, but I'm going to take this call. And then for other callers, please note that we will have the session for calling. All right. Let me just. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead.
Mystic, how are you?
I'm fine, my dear. How are you doing?
I am well, and good afternoon to all on the chat.
Yes.
What? You know what? You've ever heard this saying? I know you know. A drowned in man clutch at a straw.
Exactly.
the JLP administration is drowning. It's like them up to them neck.
Oh yes.
It's so blatantly for even the baby who not understand the marks of the corruption and all the exposed that has been exposed about the JLP administration and their leader. It's coming like they go under so much time now that me not think them there's anything breath left in them. So they clutching at a straw. For example, in the PAAC meeting that is shown where Peter Bunting, who is the chairman, and Damian Crawford and him, like he's saying, you know, how much question you asked already, maybe you should like somebody else. And Damian Crawford is confirming or clarifying that he's stopping me or what. And he says, no, this is what it is. This is transparent. This is for anybody who wants to think what they want to think. But to have that news now that there is division in the party, there is that even some of us who weren't clear on what's going on was even trying to even thinking, my God, is there something going on here for sure? With clarity.
Yes.
From all angles. You realize that it's a straw they're clutching at?
Of course.
Because Damian Crawford has asked himself to be removed, and if you hear what they did in Parliament, look at this the disgusting move that Floyd Green made when he was announcing that he asked to step down and put Mr. Dawes in there. Clarity comes later is because of what's going to happen. So you see, so them trembling and they're afraid because there's going to be another, I don't know, after the next PAAC meeting, after Dr. Dawes rip and pick apart and expose and demolish the health system and that man, when name, we don't call him, when name, me not even, Tufton or whatever they name him. What is going to be left?
Yes.
What is going to be left? They need, and our people and our comrade and the majority of the Jamaican people, which is the middle class and poor people, because the upper class, you realize that they have a crutch, and that's what being catered to.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So we need to leave that and don't make them feed into that and focus on this huge tax burden.
There you go, my sister.
On our poor people.
There you go.
That when we hear about, I need confirmation and clarity though, but Uncle Byron, because it's the airports on the leasehold agreements. Because when I hear what Mr. Robinson says, that in my experience is leasehold agreements, and the government has been taking advance payment ahead. Said give me 5 years, 10 years of income, or because that's a set amount that they get a year time where they said this is what we should be getting. Is the airports being leased to these companies?
Yes,
and they pay ahead.
Yes,
because that's what.
No, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. That's what happened. So they collect in advance.
And this JLP government has lied.
Yes.
In their books.
Yes.
The books. That means the books is being cooked. You see, because when you get that advance and then you come and say, like, say you have that revenue has been advanced to you. Where is the actual yearly, monthly, weekly revenue that the tax administration of Jamaica is collecting from these big corporations and the same little self-employment and the sole proprietors and the little middleman, which is the middle class. All right, my sister, just hold it there. Now, based on the conversation that the sister is having with me, this is the type of conversation that we need to focus on, right? And in terms of what NNN is doing, right, and to serve up destruction in talking about separation and so forth, don't pay any attention to this, right? This situation as it relates to the advance payment of the ports, you understand? This is critical to our economy, right?
And this is what we need, you understand, to identify and explore, right? And that is one of the reasons why for this morning, we are going to drill down in Andrew Holness' suppressive tax system. My sister, go ahead. Love the conversation.
Yes, my brother, Uncle Byron, that's what we need to hit. Because as our mama Portia, they demolish them when they come with it. And then think about it, Uncle Byron. They are using Melissa, but they tell these big financial businesses that ask for the asset tax to be taken off their bottom line. It affect their bottom line. I hear Miss Fairville Williams tell when it was questioned by our leader and our opposition and finance, tell them say because of Melissa they don't want to visit it now. Look at what they propose again. 2027 for these hoteliers to be taxed. They're going to move the goalpost again because that's what's happening. Now, look how much hotels after Melissa is open or is functioning on minimal. Where our people in Jamaica, poor people, working class people, is making any income.
Exactly.
Especially 30% of down there is Jamaica is mashed up, and 41% of our GDP is affected because of Melissa and Beryl. They keep taking out Beryl. Beryl and Melissa is back-to-back catastrophic hurricane that affected our bottom line as a Jamaican economy. And the people in Jamaica is suffering. So are them going to beg us in the diaspora? They don't understand that the governments in the diaspora has put a limit and minimize on us sending any money because we have to pay more for food up here. We have to pay more for utilities. Things are raised up here, so remittance is gonna be down, not because of even what they call measures that put in place, because we can't afford it.
Exactly.
Yellow yam up here is $8.99 a pound. One tin of ackee at $12.99. That's our food that we eat from Jamaica. That help our people in Jamaica, the agricultural sector, and we can't afford it, much less there's no supplies. You go in the store, there's no supplies. So what is this government is telling our people? But Uncle Baron, I want you to listen to me carefully. Kibosh this distraction that nationwide and Andrew Holness government administration is trying to distract us from focusing on the suppression, the tax, killing of our people, because comparing, for example, they're going to raise sugar because of sugar and water, bag juice and sugar and water, all those companies that the middle company, or we call the medium companies or corporation that sell bag juice, drink syrup and make those things. What's gonna happen? They're gonna raise sugar more?
Will see?
So what kind of drinks people go and drink?
All under the disguise, sister.
Poor people is doing that. They're gonna raise those?
Under the disguise that they are health conscious. And they care about, people being obese. You understand? These are the tricks that they use, right?
What is the obese rate from the last 10 years? It has been on a trajectory up. So how comes all of a sudden now obese and sugar and drinks is a problem? Alcohol. Look at alcohol. They're coming with alcohol and increased taxes on alcohol. Alcohol is where people have them one beer, have them Dragon, have them Heineken, have them whatever, boom, whatever, and then keep them party, and that is part of their under the economy, the ground economy, the grassroots economy.
Yes.
When they have them drink out and all that. So when they tax that, then bringing in gambling, high stakes gambling.
Let's look at that.
Trying to push a bill through for high stakes gambling. What does that affect the poor people them? You see what is gonna the statistical data is there that what the negative effect it's gonna have on poor people, because poor people can't afford it.
Exactly.
So what will happen?
Exactly.
This is where I'm trying to say. This nationwide, and he get the warning again, and he get a little slap the other day, and he's still persisting him and his company to spread disinformation, misinformation, evilness to the Jamaican people and distract our people.
But remember, my dear, that you understand the government in which is active, you understand, is the one who right, source the misinformation and disinformation. And remember that now NNN is actually singing for his money. Remember, you know, it's $1.4 billion in debt, right? Tax revenues being owed, right? And so then he's singing for his price. So that is what is happening. So we can't pay attention, you understand, to Big Mama or follow anything, right? What they are saying. They are totally, right, not a credible source of information. And so then we need not to engage. We need not to engage.
Exactly.
Right?
And Uncle Baron, I'm asking you to make sure highlight these things.
Yes.
And every stage you say it, or everywhere you bring it back
yes.
to the distracting. What they're doing to distract the truth from reaching our people.
All right.
The people that are affected with these taxes, because it is very essential for them to know. Because our PM up there, as them say, when we call it illegitimate PM
yes.
up there, he has no mindset, nothing for the poor people, which is, I say it again, the middle class and the poor people, as Mama Portia, as I lighted over and over, is being decimated by this GLP administration. To every time they come in power, they decimate it and demolish it, because what? Their agenda is to keep our people under their feet and then build themselves off them.
Okay.
And so please, Uncle Baron,
yes.
I know you are doing it, you and the Titans, and everyone that is on board to kibosh this evilness in Jamaica, because it hurts.
Yes.
It hurts so badly. Have a good day.
Same to you, my dear. Wonderful. Thank you very much for calling. All right. Now, Jamaica, let us begin the class, because we are going to get into some serious situation with the tax situation. Now, Jamaica, let me just build up the background before, right, we venture into this suppressive tax. If you go back to the period 2012 to 2016, the earlier part of 2016, hold on, to the earlier part of Carla, we are going to have a time, right, and you know, after we finish, right, for callers to call in. So for persons who want to call in now, just hold on a bit, right, until, you know, we're ready for that. Then we interact. I appreciate everyone who is calling, right? But so let me just go through the program, and then when we reach to that point, then of course we get into that interaction, right? So let me just build the background for all Jamaicans. The period between 2012 to the early part of 2016, as it relates to, you know, Mama Portia, right, you know, lost the election, right? Portia Simpson's budget, if you go back and do your research, she operated a 60 billion something budget. And the reason why it is important for me to speak on this, that within that 60 billion budget, if you do your research as it relates to brain drain, where you have, you know, educated people leaving the country, right, in droves, that did not, right, take place, right, in Portia Simpson era, right, in droves. Yes, you have people who leave, but, you know, very minuscule in comparison to Andrew Owen's administration, right? Why am I going here? So that 60+ billion budget, right? We have a healthcare system that, right, yes, more could have done, but much better than now. Much, much better than now, right? We used to, have beds and, MIR machines and you name it, right? We used to offer service. So as it relates to the healthcare under a $60 billion budget, right? Was so much, right, service oriented, right, in comparison to now. Why am I going there? The kleptocratic government that we have decided that he's going to expand his budget. And so then when he went in 2016, what did we see? A budget from $60 billion to a whopping $1.3 trillion. But here how deceitful Andrew Holness was. And this goes to show you the art of the scammer, the art of the deceiver. And his campaign, and even recent, as it relates to the recent general election, that his administration has not installed any new taxes. People, listen to me now. You see how clinically deceitful he was? Speaking half truth and half lies. Now the truth be told, yes, his administration did not install a new naming tax. I want people to understand and follow me. A new naming tax. So then if we have a tax named Tom, John, and Henry, right? He did not add a new name to it, to that tax. Tom, John, and Henry, right? He did not put Susan in there. I just want to go very basic so people can understand me. But the threshold as it relates to Tom, John, and Susan, he had increased the taxes. So let us ask, 6 of one and a half dozen of the other. The amount of load that he put on, because remember, as it relates to the taxation system between direct and indirect tax, he did not put it on direct tax. Like the general consumption tax, your income tax, right? Like your income tax, sorry, right? Your NHT, right? Your ed tax and so forth. Those are direct taxes. But what he had done was to put it on indirect tax. Your GCT, your SCT, which is special consumption tax. And this is where he hit the poor people. Hit them so hard that he has a budget expand as it relates to the plan of $1.3 trillion. But earlier, I mentioned as it relates to Portia Simpson operated with a $60 billion budget, right? And have a more solid healthcare system than Andrew. Now Andrew is operating at $1.3 trillion that you hear Tufton went out there. That my administration never yet in the history of Jamaica, no other administration, I saw them come across in the people. You see, when they want to wiki to you, so I am teaching you their MO. That's how they come across now, want to appeal to certain response. So they come across as it relates to what we call the strategy, right, of might over right. You saw they exercise that strategy. And so they are on the top of their voice. Never yet. They want to cement it into you, No administration in the history of our politics that had more than double up the healthcare budget. That's how Anansi working. But when they meet vloggers like us, we said, okay, from $60 billion to $140 billion. Let us go down now in the detail. What did we get for that increase? Come here, Christopher Tufton. Come in front of the class. Class this morning. Class this morning. That we are going to show you the wickedness of your administration. So all that raise, all that expansion in the healthcare budget, you know what happened? The expansion gone in their pockets. All that expansion went into their pockets. Why Mystic Sensation would say something like that? The Auditor General came out and said, in the health ministry, more than $800 billion unaccounted for. Yes. More than 800 billion Jamaican dollars unaccounted for. Christopher Tufton, come in front of the class. But the people have money there. So let us get into the details now. When you look into the system, the healthcare system is in short supply of MRI machine, short supply of dialysis machine, short supply of basic necessities, even toilet tissues, short supplies of bed, and when you look, you see the congestion and people sleeping on the floor down to surgery has to be executed on the floor. Has that ever happened in Portia Simpson's administration? No. A Portia Simpson administration, right? That, as it relates to Portia Simpson budget, $68 billion. And a healthcare system in comparison to then and now. That Portia Simpson healthcare system was offering solid services. We have seen the atrocity. We have seen Cornwall Regional Hospital from 2016, Jamaican people. I wonder if you know hear what I say. Listen. Refurbishing. The other day I saw the Prime Minister went in St. James, right? And he was highlighting the pinnacle. And he said that the pinnacle take under 1 year to be partially completed. And that is the type of talent he's searching for. I want you to listen to me, people. When I heard him said that, I said to myself that this man is really a nincompoop. Because, of course, Mystic Sensation is going to now do a comparison. So then if Pinnacle can take less than 1 year to build a structure that is much more complex than refurbishing Cornwall Regional Hospital. Much more technical. But Pinnacle came on the budget, partially finished on time. You know why? The private sector organization didn't have to utilize government procurement. This is where the problem is. Come now, Christopher Tufton, come up here, come up here. So when you compare a Pinnacle and a Cornwall Regional Hospital, of course, no corrupt no in there. No criminals dealing with direct and emergency procurement and breaching procurement rules. There was no Darrell Vaz system in Pinnacle. I read the phone up this morning. I think we are coming to come talk about PNP. PNP have strong unity. You want us to deflect? Come this morning and this we are talking about. And so then the Pinnacle came on the budget because there is no Darrell Vazism. Execute at the Pinnacle. No thief-free, no nepotism, no cronyism, no skullduggery didn't take place at the Pinnacle. So let us go back now to Cornwall Regional Hospital. From 2 billion, where you have done a cost analysis before you start the project, as according to procurement process. And so then based on the cost analysis that you have done, okay, $2 billion. Taxpayers' money gone down the drain. So you came out again, you repeat another cost analysis, and you said $4 billion. So you put on 100% on what was the original cost of $2 billion. And so then the $4 billion gone down the drain. Cornwall Regional Hospital still has not yet been completed. And so then since you turn Cornwall Regional Hospital in the GLP cash cow and Darrell Vazism, you decide, you know what? Well, when we told them about 2 billion, the people they accept it, they don't say nothing. So we tell them 4 billion. Them accept it. They don't say nothing. But make you say if we can even increase more than 100% now. So this time around, you stretch it to 9 billion. Another cost analysis now. And all now, Cornwall Regional Hospital has not been completed. And so then now, the money slipped, shared up amongst who it's supposed to be shared up to through the process of nepotism, cronyism, you understand, and of course, direct contract. Giving their friends contract. It never stopped there. Money blew out again. So here Christopher Tufton coming up now. You know we have a protracted cost that it is going to take us $24 billion to be completed. Imagine Jamaica. That if Christopher Tufton was in a first world country, like United States, he would have gone to prison from the first instance as it relates to 2 billion going 4 billion. You'd have gone to prison. You wouldn't have been there. What we need to understand is how the Jamaica Labour Party want to normalize corruption and setting up media houses like NN and NNN to deal with deflection from these issues that we need to speak about. Now, so let me provide some history here. So then, you have Andrew Holness's budget, right? Double up Portia Simpson's budget. $1.3 trillion in 2017. Now here we are. We have faced Melissa, right? More than 40% of our GDP wiped out. People are suffering. Our middle class being depleted. And Andrew Holness said, no. We don't think we're going to get anything yet. Well, media increases our budget size to $1.44 trillion. Jamaica, this is beyond cruelty. This is beyond cruelty. Let me show you something, Jamaica. Let me get into what I am getting into here and show you, because Jamaica, you're going to surprise. I have a document here, you know. I mean, no, they don't want me to show the document there, you know. But I am going to bring that document forward in short order. Now, let us get into this and listen. Let us get into this.
Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com.
We begin this evening with news on the budget. The government is planning to collect nearly $18 billion in new taxes to plug the gap in Jamaica's budget for the upcoming fiscal year.
In a few months, Jamaicans will start paying taxes on sweetened drinks and other items. The finance minister outlined the plan in the lower house today, and Andrea Chisholm has been looking at the numbers and now joins us live.
Thank you very much, Janella and Dwayne. We'll get to the taxes and revenue measures in a bit, but let's start off by talking about the overall budget. The government is planning to spend $1.44 trillion for the next fiscal year, which runs from April 1, 2026 to March 1, 2027. Now, of this amount, $1.34 trillion will go towards recurrent expenditure. That's money set aside for things such as wages and salaries. $99.7 billion is for capital expenditure, and that's for infrastructure projects such as roads and bridges. Now, to fund this budget, the government has announced 8 revenue measures totaling $29.4 billion. And let me just point out that it's the first time that the revenue measures are being tabled at the same time as the estimates. So the yellow book with the expenditure and the pink book with the revenues and the tax measures are being available at the same time. Let's quickly look at the numbers. The first is a special consumption tax, SCT, on non-alcoholic sweetened beverages, whether they are manufactured locally or imported. They will be taxed at 2 cents per milliliter.
For 300 milliliters beverage, it would be $6. For 600 milliliter beverage, it would be $12. And for a 2-liter beverage, it would be $40. The estimated revenue gain associated with levying the SCT on non-alcoholic sweetened beverages is estimated at $10.1 billion and will take effect during the first quarter of fiscal year 2026-2027.
The fact that you anticipate to collect so much from this indicates that you don't really expect there to be a significant fall off in demand.
Correct.
But I would recommend that some of the monies that are collected from it, are invested and provided to the local agriculture industry so that natural juices, unsweetened natural juices, can be provided as alternatives to the sweetened drinks.
Now, that's the opposition spokesman on finance, Julian Robinson, responding to that specific tax measure. The SCT on every liter of pure alcohol will also go up to $1,400, and it will take effect on May 1, 2026, and it will rake in about $1.6 billion for the government. Now to another tax measure. GCT will now be applied to digital services. We're still awaiting clarity on that. What exactly does the government mean? What exactly will they be taxing? But digital services are normally supplied from abroad and consumed in Jamaica. Government is expected to earn about $300 million in the new fiscal year and $4.2 billion in the 2027-2028 fiscal year. And let's return to the finance minister.
That the SCT on cigarettes will also be increased by $3 per stick, moving the effective specific rate from $17 per stick to $20 per stick. The estimated revenue gain associated with increasing the SCT on cigarettes is approximately $1.1 billion and will take effect 1st of May 2026.
Other revenue measures, the Environmental Protection Levy will move from 10.5 to 0.8%, and the GCT rate on tourism activities will move from 10% to 15%. There will also be a change in the 20% duty concession regime for motor vehicles.
It is proposed that the 20% import duty remain payable, the GCT becomes payable, and the SCT exemption remains. The estimated revenue gain associated with removal of the GCT exemption is approximately $1.3 billion, and it will be effective the 1st of May 2026.
Finance Minister Favour Williams also announced that the government will continue to transfer about $11.4 billion every year for the next 5 years from the National Housing Trust. Dwayne?
Let me stop and share this. My Jamaican people, believe you me, the level of suppression. And I want to point out something as it relates to the opposition finance shadow minister for finance, Julian Robinson, stated. So now this is how you drive a dagger deep in the heart of the poor people. Because when I talk about, taxing sweets, anything that contribute to sweets and so forth, sugary substance and so forth, right? We should know that it is most poor people are going to consume. This is how you net them, you know. This is how you net them. But what Julian Robinson asks, you realize people that favor lay flat, right, without any response? Because Julian is saying, are you going to give the people alternative as it relates to the agricultural sector in terms of providing, right, more healthier thing, right, to avoid such taxation? She did not respond to it. She did not respond. She did not respond because they have no plans for that. They have no plans to alleviate poor people from the burden. Before I go any further, let me bring back your memory as it relates to the $6.7 billion that we receive from the IMF. We all heard Andrew Holness stood in Parliament and said, this is the only administration, again, when they are doing their evil, I am only showing you their MO. I never know that, okay, all right, someone is going to really politicize an IMF loan that under no circumstances we should be political grandizing for that, because that is like an arrow that is going to reach to the heart of the poor as it relates to austerity measures. These are what is playing out now. And the Prime Minister got up in Parliament and said, no other administration, you saw them like to cement it. You saw them like to cement it. Christopher Tufton come, no other administration. And you hear Darrell Voss come. And if the circumstances to exit, the strategy, right, in terms of might over right, wrong and strong. I want you to listen to the strategy, you know, and then do it forcefully. Wrong and strong, might over right. That is the strategy being utilized, the political strategy being utilized, because they believe that when you talk it loud and you shout it across the hemisphere, people are going to conceive it. So when Andrew Holness says it's a war for the mind, this is what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about. And so then when you look, here it is, that this fanatic gloating about something that he should never, he should shame what he should have, what should really happen. He should cry as an embarrassment that this administration is borrowing so much from IMF. PJ Patterson dismissed the IMF in 1995 and said, "Tata IMF, bye-bye, bye-bye." This is what to be honored. PJ Patterson is to be honored. That is what needs to be glorified, as opposed might over right, wrong and strong. The man is saying his administration borrowed the most from IMF because of fiscal discipline. Don't talk about fiscal discipline, Andrew Holness. When Bruce Golding F it up, it is Portia Simpson who provide fiscal discipline. When Edward Seaga F it up, It is PJ Patterson who corrected it and said, "Tata, IMF, tata." So the real history, as it relates to Jamaica economic, being trampled by capitalism, trampled by the labor rights, that look way back in history. When Michael Manley handed over the debt per GDP ratio to Edward Seaga in the 70s, what was the debt for GDP at the GDP ratio? What was the debt per GDP ratio? Let us get back to history. What was the debt per GDP ratio when Seaga took over the country from Michael Manley? With his lie, propaganda. The debt per GDP ratio was a marginal 63%. Go back, do your research, people, do your research. Right? And Seaga came in. And what happened? The debt per GDP ratio when he left it in 1989 was 200%. 200%. Tell them to come over here, sir. Come speak to us about the history. Was 200%. And to show you the level of embarrassment when it comes to the Jamaica Labour Party, in 1983, between 1983 to 89, it was Edward Seaga standalone in the parliament. No opposition to oppose him. To show you how worthless Jamaica Labour Party is. Worthless! Because their aim, their intention is to damage the economy through the process of crony capitalism. And so the history that their hands handled and tightened around Jamaica economy, squeezing the life out of it. And just imagine that PJ Patterson took over. And in 1995, tell the IMF, tata. I am saying this to say that when you look at it, Bruce Golding came after PJ Patterson, and the first thing what Bruce Golding had done was to sell most of Jamaica resources. Go and do your history. Here Jamaica and do all of them. Sugar estate, all of them. All of them. Privatize them. All of them. So for the bad experience with IMF, fail over 8 IMF tests. Borrow the IMF money and can't pay it back. Disrespect IMF. IMF done with Jamaica. So in 2012, when Portia Simpson won, the country going towards the economic abyss of hell. Portia Simpson have to partially crawl on her knees with Dr. Peter Phillips. Try to beg another meeting from IMF. And Maxine Walters was such a friend to Jamaica that she set up a meeting, and that was the making of fiscal discipline. The austerity measures that IMF placed Portia Simpson's administration under, and Portia Simpson overcome. That is the origin of fiscal discipline. So Andrew Honest, we know you're a scammer. We know you're a scammer. We know you are a scammer, a professional scammer. So let us get into the pink paper. So I'm setting up all of that, right, to show you what is happening. So let us go into the pink paper and get into some detail of the pink paper. Now watch this, my Jamaican people, because as I said, I have a document that I'm going to pull out after the pink paper. You know. Jamaica want to tune in and listen. You know. There are some things that they have never spoken about as it relates to PGA and PNP, you know, where we are going to show it this morning. They never mention it. They hide it. They try their best to suppress it. But this morning, you will hear. So let me just run the pink paper here, the revenue document here, and then we get into that. So stick and stay. Now, let us get into this. The revenue measures document. Let me share it. So here it is, the revenue measures for financial year 2026-2027, right? Let me just expand this so you can see this document. I presume that you can see it right now. Okay, good. So here it is. The consumer in Jamaica should be subject to GCT in the same way as locally supplied equivalent services. The application of GCT on international digital services and intangibles is expected to have a positive revenue impact once fully implemented. So, okay, I don't have to go through this because I show you the video as it relates to TVJ, right, who have been speaking about this. But when I come down here, look, the Honorable House is being advised that a SCT, which is Special Consumption Tax, will be introduced under the General Consumption Tax Act on non-alcoholic sweetened beverages. So the tax that they don't implement any new tax, that tax is out of the door now. People, that tax is out of the door now. For this measure, NSBS are defined as all non-alcoholic beverages containing added sugar or other caloric sweeteners, as well as beverages containing artificial or non-nutritive sweeteners, whether carbonated or non-carbonated, and whether manufactured locally or imported. This here is an attack on the poor people. This special tax is an attack on poor people. NSB are defined as all non-alcoholic beverages containing added sugar. This is how wicked and vicious this government is. Can you imagine, Jamaica people? Can you imagine this? Are non-nutritive sweeteners, whether carbonated or non-carbonated, and whether manufactured locally or imported. This is the Jamaican, for some Jamaicans who voted for this man. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, people? Now, as I said, I'm not going to go through all these details. I want to go to the summary, and we'll break down the summary because we have listened to this right on TVJ. So let me just go to the summary breaking down of this document. Here is the summary of the revenue measures. So now, when we look on the revenue impact for year 26-27, which is coming April 1st to next year, which is 27, March 31st. So this is the column that addressing this period. I want people to understand this, right? And it's slated there as it relates to billions of Jamaican dollars. Now, application of general consumption tax, GCT, and digital services and intangibles. So for the year 2026 to 2027, they hope to collect 300 million from that to the people. 300 million from that. Now, let us look at number 2. Levying a special consumption tax on non-alcohol sweetened beverages. Look on the wickedness, people. Look on the wickedness. For 2026 coming April 1st to next year March 27, Andrew Wallace wickedness is going to collect 10.1 billion Jamaican dollars. Mighty God of Daniel. Come here quick. Come here quick. Come here quick. Hold on, let me get answer this caller. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation.
I explained to one, but I need to tell everybody that he's also putting taxes on digital services. Like when you go online and you buy stuff on Amazon,
yes,
taxes is going on every single thing you go online and you go buy.
And you're right. We read that in bulletin number 1. Application of general consumption tax on digital services and in intangibles. So you're right. You're perfectly right. So we spoke about it.
Yeah, I'm just inputting that to everybody. So we're going to feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's coming already. It's not started. It's
Mighty
not
God.
We're going to see worse.
Mighty goodness.
And I'm going to send you a picture. I was in the hospital last week.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you what they give the mothers to eat on a daily basis.
Thank you. Send it to me.
There's 3 strips of chicken, people, with 1 piece of Irish potato and 2 pieces of sweet potato, and that's it, and a tank.
All right, my sister. When you look on the man, was there no other administration in the history of Jamaica that have raised the health budget from 60 billion to over 140 billion. And have you heard what the caller just said? What they are giving them in the hospital? Listen and we hear. Okay. So look at the wickedness, my Jamaican people. Levying a special consumption tax and non-alcoholic sweetened beverage. Them know, oh, this is how them wicked and slaughter. This is slaughtering. So for the year 2026, which is going to start April 1st to next year March 31st, 10.1 billion Jamaican dollar. Mighty God. Look at number 3, increased special consumption tax on liter of pure alcohol. $1.6 billion. Mighty goodness. Increases special consumption tax on cigarette. Hey, $1.1 billion. Me glad to me no smoke. Modification of the 20% duty concession on motor vehicles for public officials. $1.3 billion for that. They expect to collect. Increase the environmental protection levy, right? EPL rate to 0.8% from 0.5%. So they put on 0.3% on that. And that is going to now give them, they are going to heal from that $3.639 billion. Increase the GCT rate on tourism activities on the standard rate of 15% up to from 10% for year 27, 28, if you notice, right? This is just nothing. So they are not doing anything with that in year 2026. Nothing is going to be done with that. Now, continuation of the annual transfer of 11.4 billion from the NHTs to central government. This is wickedness. This is wickedness and joyless, because when you keep on doing that, you understand, NHT is going to fall out of its mandate. Jamaica people make you understand what is going on here. You continue to draw, the government continue to draw down on $11.4 billion yearly. It's going to affect the original mandate for NHT as it relates to NHT as the ability, the capacity to offer low-income home. Low-income home, it makes it much more difficult when you have a drawdown like this. The opposition need to take them to court. The opposition need to take them to court on this. This cannot be continuing. This cannot be continuing. Right? Contributors did not give you permission to do that. Look, listen to me. We, the contributors, did not give you this permission to do that. You need to be taken to court. We need to put out a civil action lawsuit, Jamaican people. Listen to me, no, Jamaican people. Because no say this someone I want to count back in a slavery, you know. The $11.4 billion drawdown on NHT under Andrew Warner's administration need to cease and desist. So then, for 2026 to 2027, which we said, the financial year starts from April 1st to March 31st, right? 2027, they expected to collect, see the people, see there, $29,439,000,000. We could go over now to year 2027, 2028, the preceding financial year. Watch this now, people. Look at now. Look on the wickedness and now, people. See that? Application of general consumption tax and digital services and intangible. You know what happened now? It leaving from 300 million as it relates to what affect the financial year 2026 to 2027, you know. But look what they going to happen now as it relates to 2027, you understand? And 2028 financial year. A whopping 4.2 billion. Mighty God of Daniel. Now, under the pressure of the people in my face, Melissa, all of them something, yeah. All of them something, yeah. They not the right verse. Did say him care about people as it relates to the communication and so forth and so forth. You understand? And so then, right? He run procurement for 200 Starlink. So what are they? The government not care again. Oh no, watch this now. Application of general consumption tax on digital services and intangibles, right? We will collect 300 million 2026 to 2027. But when it comes to 2027 and 2028, we plan to peak it up 4.2 billion. Hey, Jamaican people, I wonder if you know see them or something. We could come on us to know. Because it's a 28. Increase the GCT rate on tourism activities and the standard rate of 15% up from 10%, right, in for year 2027, 2028. So this is where it's going to kick in now. For 2027 to 2028, they wish to all down $11.4 billion for that. Right? And the total that they are going to be collected, right, between 2027 and 2028, right, $15.6 billion. So between the period 2026 to 2028, people, somebody in the chat, quickly do the math to me. 29.439 billion plus 15.6 billion. Somebody in the chat, do the chat for me, take the call here. Yes, Sister P, you're on the line. Go ahead, my sister.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Let me start from
here.
Yes.
More you look in the video when Mr. Robinson slap Andrew all this. And when you get up ignorant.
Yes.
And come out of parliament. More you look for that.
All right.
No.
All right.
You see, all when you tell the people, even before the election,
Okay.
people who see what happening, and the worst is yet to come.
Woo!
And the man continue to take $11.4 billion. No house now make, almighty God, Jamaican people, who no come now. It can't continue like this. If people not even have no heart to know, say, people go through devastation and people life not come up back, hotel still down. And me said, Mystic, yesterday, I sit down and listen to the Governor General tell so lie where they write in. But the day me born, I first made some lie one time.
What I tell you?
Eh? I mean, what if you ask the private sector, what do I do towards this? Eh? What am I going to do towards this? Eh? Anyway, me come back to class, because the worst is still yet to come.
And that's no joke, Sister P. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Yes, Papa.
All right. Now, Jamaica, you remember I said to you that I have a document that I want to share as it relates to the seriousness. Let me just answer this call. Yes, my sister, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Mystic. Hi, Baron.
Hi, how are you doing, my dear?
A quick one.
Yes.
So you know, document that you put up with the digital services.
Yes.
Yeah? Where it moved from 300 million
Yes.
in the first year to the 4.2.
4.2 billion.
Number one on the list, digital services.
Yes, that was number one on the list.
Right. Did you see the footnote? The footnote right at the bottom of that page.
Yes.
It explains why it is 0.3.
Yes.
As in 300 million.
Yes.
In the first financial year, and it goes to 4.2.
Yes.
They're claiming with full implementation,
Mm-hmm.
they will be able to get 4.2
Yes.
for that year.
Yes.
They put it at the bottom of the page. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, my question is, yeah, I mean, I don't have a YouTube channel, yeah, or anything like that, yeah. What is their plan? How are they planning to get this money of those that use digital services outside of Jamaica? How are they doing it? Is it when the people get their electronic payment into their accounts?
Well, all of that going to be included. It is wide, right? In that.
No, I'm just wondering, how are they going to get the tax off it?
Okay. Well, that.
How are they going to get the tax? Because obviously, these people that might be using digital services that are not inside Jamaica, they're using outside Jamaica and they're making money from it.
Yes.
As an example. Yeah, right?
Yes.
Is it when the person gets paid? Say they get paid by YouTube or
yeah, I do understand. I do understand if there is going to be a secondment as it relates to right because you know that YouTube will draw their taxes, right? That legislation is going to be
So all right, so YouTube draws out their taxes.
Yes. So Jamaica.
Okay, so they're already paying tax on the money they're making.
They already pay tax for the money.
So what, they're going to try and hit them with another tax?
Yes.
Because
Basically, that's my understanding.
That is so wrong.
It is so wrong. It is so wrong, sister.
That is so wrong because you've already paid your taxes.
Yes.
And then the deduction's been made already. And then because you're inside Jamaica.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is going to affect you.
Tax you again.
Yeah, it is going to affect you.
Look, I would hope that they challenge this in the court of laws, because why do they think they can do that?
I don't know.
It's not their platform.
Well, guess what?
The government should not be interfering with something like that.
It's a kleptocratic government, and you're perfectly right. And I think that particular.
I understand what you're saying, Mystic, but what I'm saying is that they've already paid.
Yes, and you're right.
To the
They already paid.
That is hosting that platform.
Yeah.
So they don't have the right to tax it.
No.
Again.
But I'm
just really curious about this digital service.
Exactly. That is for a court to decide on that, though.
it needs to go to court, and
Yes.
they have the jurisdiction to be doing that.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Right, because you've already paid tax on it.
That don't look right to
Yeah?
me, but that is what as it
So
relates to.
It's a strange one, and
Yes.
anyway, so that's digital services. So the beverages.
Yes.
Yeah, that is an utter piss take.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, it's an utter piss take mistake.
It's crazy.
Okay?
That's
because at the end of the day, I think Julian Robinson said it. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So when you get this 10 point whatever billion, right? Okay. What do you do in the money? Well, just put it into the consolidated fund.
And that is what Julian was saying, right? That okay,
Yeah,
from that, are you going to create some
our own natural juices?
exactly natural
that,
juices
yeah?
so that people can have alternatives?
That's the highest amount on that sheet, you know. That's the highest figure. Apart from the NHT,
Yeah.
that's the second highest figure on that sheet.
It's vicious.
Yeah. But you see, Mark Golding told them, the PNP told them,
But-
Byron, yeah, that should they get into office, this drawdown,
Yes.
11.4 million will stop. But they never want it.
Oh my God! And you what happened?
Right?
You know, the two most significant items, right? That is critical for poor people, right? As it relates to housing, the drawing down of the $11.4 billion that is going to affect the NHT in terms of the inability to provide low-income homes, and the sweetness that they are having. No, it is just cruel. It is just cruel.
You know what? The more this is not even been a year, yeah. The more we go forward into this third term with the JLP, right, and saw what was put on the table by the PNP, yeah, people getting lands.
Yes.
People they stopped this drawdown of 11.4 billion. The education, first in the family, okay?
Yes.
All of that, right? I'm sure a lot of people are waking up now.
Well, I hope.
But it's too late. It's too late.
Yes. Yes.
It's too late.
I hope
right?
so.
They had the opportunity on the 3rd of September to change course. And the other thing I want to mention, Byron, yeah, you know that they're all this money that they put into national reserves, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The Jamaican dollar ain't value that because there's no growth.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Exactly.
So I don't understand how the Jamaican dollar can be at that rate. There's no growth in the country, yeah. But because of this national reserve, they don't even think that okay, let's draw down some money out of national reserve, okay?
Exactly.
No. They rather push this on to the people that are hit the hardest, which are the people that are the low earners in Jamaica.
Yes.
The low earners. Yeah? Because let's face it, okay, it's the low earners that are going to be hit by this. You know this?
Yes.
These taxes. The low earners.
But
the ones that, because, you know, maybe back in our day, Byron, you know, because I'm assuming I'm the same age group as you, but back in our day, people weren't making money off YouTube and TikTok.
Of course.
Yeah? People can do that in the comfort of their own home so long as they have internet service. And here comes the Jamaican government. And it's not fair. It's not fair, Byron, because
that cannot be
people
fair.
are doing it in other countries and they are not doing this. But Jamaica has to be doing this. This government has to be doing it to their people at the worst time ever.
Exactly. Exactly.
The worst time ever.
So where's the heart? Where's the heart?
Sometimes you can imagine it is probably what is putting food on some of their tables right now. And they're going after them. Not only that, it's a double whammy, you know, with the sugar tax as well, you know.
Yeah.
It's a double whammy.
Of course.
Right? When they have a little shop and they can sell a little, you know, beverage here and there, it's a double whammy. Yeah? The worst time ever when people are still trying to get back on their feet. This is what the Andrew Orney's government has done to you.
You know?
I want to see Jamaican people going to sit on their asses and do nothing.
Well.
And say, well, I saw it said. That's not what we can do.
Well.
Don't call for Mark Golding. You had your opportunity, people.
Exactly.
That's for those that didn't vote.
Exactly.
You had your opportunity. Okay, I'll leave you alone and go back to class.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, man. These are the calls that really, push us on. Right? Now it's vicious in Jamaica when you look at it. And, as it relates to, particularly when it comes to the $11.4 billion continuation of drawdown on the NHT, right? The effect that that is going to have on NHT, rendered NHT the inability, right, to provide low-income homes, right? So that totally shift NHT mandate. This is wicked. This is vicious. For real. This is very cruel. Hey, what going on, my brother?
Uncle man.
Yes, my brother.
If life could go back in time.
Oh, jeez.
You know? And I don't know if we want to continue to repeat ourselves.
Aye.
September 3rd, when the people didn't have the opportunity to change this trajectory.
Yes.
And get us on a path of stability and growth. But the people rather take the $2,000 and $5,000.
Well.
This kleptocratic thievery. We never have to use a big word that we're not talking about kleptocratic, you know. We have to say the word like how we say don't get a thief. The thief in government.
Well, boy, a big thief in my go on within us, so we have to give him sitting big, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. No, give him kleptocratic.
Okay.
Kleptocratic, when you take something under the counter.
All right.
Thief, you know, when you tear down the house and go take out everything you want.
So, yeah, so him is an AC criminal. Him is an AC criminal.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, man.
I hear him, my brother.
Because they are listening to us. And we don't know if we can go back a little bit. And not too long.
Yes.
That was more 6 months ago.
Okay.
Or probably 8 months ago when the PMP started the campaign and put out the manifesto.
Mm-hmm.
And tell the people that we say, these are the things that we are, if we get into office, we will be able to offer you.
Yes.
In compared to what you were getting.
Mm-hmm.
What you are getting. And the people that choose this kind of taxation.
Yeah. Well,
this blatant taxation law, because they only put it out in the public now. All along they did do it. When they were talking about 10 years without no new tax. Right? They
yes.
do it under the quiet, but they never used to read it out the budget.
Yes.
Right?
Well,
and I don't know. The only thing we can say, and it's hard to say it that way, but brethren, I'm good for them. But sorry, say me, I have to get involved in it too.
All right.
The licking. You know?
Well,
but I'm good for them.
They exercise their Judas activity as it relates to 30 pieces of silver and sell out Jesus. Right? They have done that. So they collect the money and sell out the birthright and sell out their prosperity. That's what they have done.
Yeah, but just look at it seriously, man. How can you vote for a government or a party that never put out a manifesto before they go look your vote?
Exactly.
The only thing the man come out and tell us is they can raise minimum wage to $32,000. And the slogan for the election was choose Jamaica. Choose what kind of Jamaica?
It's crazy.
You know, man, you mean they're gonna choose it.
All right. All right. I forgot to run the phone now, because the call them are coming like, whoa. So maybe just give another person blessings, my brother. All right. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I listen to the thing when I'm talking about the tax and the digital services now. I don't know how that's going to work in Jamaica. Because firstly,
You have enough of them, enough of the website them.
Yes.
You have pay for like say that pay for Amazon Prime or you use something like Stripe and them type of thing. Enough of them website they don't even recognize Jamaica, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
I gotta remit that money to them, you know.
Well, let us see how they are going to utilize it, no?
Yeah, them are going to have some serious problem because first thing we don't even have proper way to call it now. Like a couple of them sites which we're not really going into some details with some of them.
Yes.
Them even have a problem with people collecting money in Jamaica.
Exactly.
Because if you sign up to some of them sites, you have to go through, you have to jump through all type of hoops.
Yes.
In order to get your money, so you know that will result in a more hardship.
Yeah.
For people
of course.
Who offer digital services.
Of course. You're perfectly right. But all right, let me just take a next call. You finished with the conversation, sir?
All right, let me make it go on right. Say you don't know my first time by a show, but me hear them as some just jump in. Next time we'll come.
Yeah, man. Blessings, my brother. All right.
Yeah, man.
Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead.
Mystic.
Hello, how you doing, my friend?
I am just calling in because I saw something that something that is bothering me.
Yes.
And I was watching your program, you guys last night, the Titans.
Titans.
Now I'm watching. I just catch up a little bit of this program.
Yes.
With the tax that forget I have to turn on this TV. With the tax that they're talking about, and I heard there's a certain line that I heard on there where I don't know if it's one of the politicians or somebody said it about the people being obese and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you damn care about the people then, why don't you do something about it?
Very good question.
You're selling them the sweet drink.
Very good question.
The sweet drink and this.
Very good question.
Them the sweet drink and the sweet something, all these sweet things, and putting them into pre-diabetic or diabetic stage. And when they have the diabetes now and cannot control it, they can't go to the hospital. They go in there, go sit down on a chair or a lawn chair and something. What kind of disgusting government this is? Listen, these people need to boycott whoever. I don't think the manufacturer of the drinks have anything to do with it. But since the government want tax, show them who hold the blade of the knife, who hold the handle of the knife. Stop buying the sweet something them. And people want to stop eating the fast food. And whichever government minister run can have franchise in a Kentucky or the sweet business, no boycott them, make the juice no sell, and they have no money to get. I want to see if they not turn things around. You guys we have the handle. Andrew is just a puppy show. The first thing with him is that he wants to be honored. He have all these accolades behind his name, which he not earn none of them. But
exactly.
He buys them to put behind his name to be somebody who he is not damn. He's damn not anybody. He's not any damn good soul at all. Because first of all, you take an oath of office and you don't care about the people. Them you're carrying Chinese, you're carrying this, you're carrying that, and you put. Even the guy that when me hear when I talk about the other day, the Indian one. Look at this boy. You
Gushan Savadia.
Country and have him do your laundry. You take your wife, put in there, do your laundry too. Because what is she doing in Parliament, Andrew? What is she doing in Parliament?
And that's no joke. I fully 110% agree with you.
What is this woman doing in Parliament?
Set of criminals.
Some is the cover up and. All the little minions them, he never find a good person out the street with any integrity to put on his party. Even the ones them we say them a liar. Look on the one in there near me and me not even know which party him come from. The all of them is crooked Byron. But you know what?
Of course.
I'm gonna say my last say. People boycott this something them. Uno can live, uno can buy sugar and go home and brackish something with lime and something and drink. We used to do that in the day. I don't know how to drink nothing sweet. There is We are in the Garden of Eden, when you see any sugar in there, no water and fruits God did put in there. Take the fruits and make juice, you don't have to sweeten it. Juice something and drink it and stop. Stop getting on yourself obese because Andrew want the whole on the dead and he think he might go live long enough to carry in Chinese friend and the Indian friend and a friend from all over the world can live in a paradise while phone going rotten and gone. Stop it.
All right.
I don't love hype up and put people on pedestal when I deserve it.
Exactly.
Right.
Fully agree with you. My
there
sister.
is much more I could say, but I'm going to leave it at that because me hear film wife I come talk about how people just come in a parliament. She didn't see her fear two pan that decide we'd have them plunging neckline yesterday. Why she never talk about that when you can discuss you want to be in a young girl's space. You all already woman your face fear but sitting you have to go mortician every morning go put on go make them put on care powder on your face and you grudge young girl.
Cause out her backside, my sister. Blessed, my sister. All right. All right. Let me just take one more call and then we get back to the program. Yes, caller. Blessings. Yeah.
Kind of get, sidetrack a bit.
All right.
Mention is that thing about the juice them.
Yes.
You want to know which juice in Jamaica and have sugar in it.
There you go.
All the juice that in Jamaica have sugar added,
Of course.
Some of them know what the only place we sell juice where sugar not added, and some place not paying the tax. Like, know some little man where sell juice like the rest of man and them thing they will say,
yes,
no sugar in them thing. And I say, but other than them, everything, all of them made from concentrates or from the true juice where them say healthy. All of them,
yes,
them have sugar added. So when them have, and the thing is that the people them who drink them juice, even the soda them. Basically, the poor people are doing everything, so the poor people them never try tax.
Of course, then hold on. You see the amount. You see, hold on, call it. You see the amount that he's going to collect. You see the amount he prepared to collect at $10.1 billion.
Exactly, because the objective supposed to be that you're not supposed to expect you really don't want to collect none.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Because you really don't want.
So there is no escape.
Yeah, man, what I said?
No, I said there is no escape from that tax. Go ahead. Sorry to cut.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you want people to eat healthy, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to give them some kind of incentive to eat healthy. Maybe you have to take off tax off of the things that were healthy.
Yeah, but you have to.
Healthy still have tax from them.
You have to understand.
So
you have to understand that Andrew Ones carried the Minister of Debt, not the Minister of. Not the Minister of Health, the Minister of Death, right? So him not deal with nothing as it relates to health, health-wise, right? A debt them promote.
Because when you're looking at the supermarket, from as far as you see, most of the things you see all type of color drinks. You see all when you look at the section, they must have like vegetable, especially the outer section of the supermarket. Unless vegetable they in the supermarket, them and thing,
Yes.
You don't want things that they would have promote that type of thing. The amount of rice, the amount of flour, and it's not the healthy flour them have, when you want things like spelt flour and them type of thing, a certain supermarket you can get that, you not get that at poor people's supermarket, or with them call poor people's supermarket, you have to go special place, if a town you have to go up L'Assumption or Sovereign or some, the one them where they uptown.
Yes.
And it's still a limited uptown. Regular people now buy them something. So if you don't want people to healthy them type of thing, when you're supposed to have promoted, you're supposed to have all type of ad campaign and them thing, and I try to get people to do. All of this is just to get money from people, but them just find the perfect opportunity to come out, come say, because the people that might get too much diabetes, if them keep on people, them I know them do that.
Well,
exactly. At the end of the day, if you hungry or you thirsty and you want something to drink,
yes.
you have to tell how much, you never know how much.
All right. What I have to do, call, I have to go run. Well, I have to go run left you again, because I have to try squeezing everybody to get a little. All right. Blessings, my brother. All right. Blessings. All right. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead. Oh, that call cut off. Oh, Lord. Okay. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Please go ahead.
You see, when we're in the hospital, I'm on the maternity ward.
Yes.
And many of us are females who are pregnant, have complications in pregnancy.
Yes.
It's not our fault. Many of us are hypertensive and have gestational diabetes. When we're in there, our loved ones cannot bring in food to us. The only thing we can eat in there is get fruits. Sometimes grapes, pineapples, apples, all of these. That's the only thing we can get in there. The true juice that the caller previously just mentioned, I buy, my husband buys the unsweetened true juice, but it is from concentrate. It's still a sugar in it.
Mm-hmm.
And many of us in there, again, as I said, have gestational diabetes. We cannot be drinking those things. And when they're giving us our dinner, I sent you a picture of the dinner. I would love for the whole world to see the dinner that they give us. We want to see people. We're getting starches and women in. We're on sugar. We have sugar medication and insulin.
Yes.
We're getting sweet potatoes, salty chicken full of MSG, and all kind of ketchup and sauces on it. There's nothing tailored for the females. Only I'm seeing there that seems to be healthy is the porridge, because they don't add sugar into the porridge.
Yes.
And the soup, which you don't really add much salt to the soup. That is all we're getting in there as females, and we're starving. Many of us are starving. More mothers right now, we have to hustle. We have to try to buy snacks in there.
But Carla, me not understand. Carla, hold on the caller. Carla, me not understand. They not Christopher Tufton say he moved the healthcare budget right from $60 billion to $140 billion. I will not get nothing right in the hospital feet.
Uncle Byron hungry.
No, sir.
Hungry.
Mighty goodness.
I mean, I have to try for money for blood sugar.
So then what happened to the money? What happened to the increase? Christopher Tufton, more you come talk to the lady. For me, no, Christopher Tufton. Come explain to the lady. Right? She's in the hospital. Right? And she's not being properly cared for as it relates to her diet. Minuscule. Right? So then you raise... Yes.
Just step me up and get up the next day.
I want them hear you.
I prick my figure and down my blood sugar.
I want them hear you.
Can I hear?
I want them hear you.
I prick my finger, make me take my blood sugar test, and my blood sugar was 1.9. It was dangerous to become hungry.
You hear that? No, hold on. Remember, you know, as it relates to your blood level, right? Your blood level should be between 5 to 7. That's okay. But when our blood, because she's not eating properly, Jamaica, her blood level dropped from 1 to 1.9. I in the hospital, this you know, which part? It is an institution that's supposed to care for people during their ailment, you know. And this is what is happening inside a Christopher Tufton hospital that raised, beat him chest pan campaign. Christopher Tufton, I want you to listen to this lady. Where the people, which part of the money there? You raise and you lick your chest and said no other administration in the history of Jamaica that has lifted the healthcare budget from 60 billion to 140 billion. I see the caller here. The caller can't get no food, no proper food, no nutritious food to eat in the hospital. And no, she alone, you know. It affects everybody. It's a shame and disgrace. It's a shame and disgrace.
if when I eat something, my friend beside me sleep beside me in the next bed, she don't eat something, and me eat something, she give me where she eat out, what vice versa.
Mighty God. People don't hear this. When you see where healthcare gone. When you see where healthcare gone. Just look on it. Right?
I was 5 months pregnant, you know.
When you hear that?
Eat, you know.
This is a pregnant lady, you know. Man, so, and remember, you know, the treatment is not unique to her, you know. The treatment is not unique to her, you know. All of them are under the same circumstances in terms of what we are hearing from this caller. It's a shame.
Somebody in the comment section is asking if I took my medication. I did. I did take my medication. I
Just
was
look at
in profile for what if I really had real diabetes or not.
Look at that.
And I am telling you, people within their diabetic
Mighty
or not,
God.
it dropped down lower than one mother. It happened to mothers on insulin.
So let me ask you, when you're sick, what is the norm? What is the universal norm? When you're sick, you go to the hospital and you're expected to be cared for. But in Jamaica, it seems like when you're sick, if you go to the hospital, you may not make it out alive. Hey, and that we are getting. That is what we are getting in.
We can't tell you, Uncle Bar. I'm going to tell you the truth. The nerve, them do the best them can.
Yes.
Them put me on an IV drip. They make sure someone put something on more. Them give me something to drink. That is what they give them for work with.
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes.
They're trying their best, and I really appreciate the care that they give. But the resources is low. The bed, you want to see the bed, and shall take a picture of the mattress.
Lord
the bed
Jesus.
is so thin. Mattress is so thin.
Send some photograph to me, sister. As a matter of fact, send some video to me. Photograph and video. Send them to me. Let me expose what I need to expose.
I come like a quite literally a prison there. Some of the bed, the mattress is so thin. Your back of earth. I did a previous C-section before and I've had adhesions over my incision. You know it hard.
Mighty God, man.
Mighty
and you goodness.
clean up the next day. On the right side hurt you more than the left side. You won't even understand.
So what on the caller? Right? Patients, right? Want basic necessities in a hospital. And you, Christopher Tufton, take taxpayers' money and go give Benz Punani $800 million. Almost $1 billion of taxpayers' money. You know. What did we get as a result of Market Me? Come talk to me, no Tufton. Come talk to us, Christopher Tufton. What did we get out of Market Me? How did Market Me benefit us? How did Market Me benefit us? You hear what the caller said? You hear what the patient has said? Eh? And this is how you treat them?
Well, Uncle Baron, nuts, I don't know who nuts is. Nuts, I'm telling you, we get some big antibiotics to take all kind of stuff in there for take injection, blood thinners, hypertensive medication, all kinds of stuff we're on, and they were not eating properly.
This cannot be
so
fair.
we must dry out. I was on augmentin.
Cannot be
I feel
fair.
I take them, and I know that when they take antibiotics, it's stuck you dry. All the nutrients in your body goes. I'm on folic acid and iron. I'm trying my best here, but it's still hard. It's hard.
Well,
In them, I just want to come out to go eat some food. Hungry when me in there. I don't know normal when they're in there sometimes. It's not like you don't appreciate it, you know. And if you ask your extra food, I say, why you know would I like an extra food? An argument. You get
mighty God.
Because you get this first.
Boy, this
I
wicked.
can tell people, I tag them and feed the ladies them in there.
This is something else wicked. This is something wicked. Well, you want more if you do. I want you to keep keep me engaged, right? Because we realize some other people the calling, I want to give them some opportunity to speak their issues as well. But all right.
I'm gonna want you to show the picture of the food, Uncle Byron.
Okay.
Please let them see.
All right.
All right,
Yes, I'm going to do it, Mrs. Star. Cool. All right. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead. Caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, sir. You're on Mystic Sensation. Hello?
Yes, Mystic. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. Oh, yes, yes, my caller. What go on, my brethren?
My dear brother, but you're there on fire. From morning, I'm trying to call you, but you're there on fire, my brethren. I'm going to tell you, your callers have checked all the boxes, Mystic.
Yes.
Them have checked all the boxes.
Yes.
The show is on fire, man.
Thank you, man.
And I'm very, 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 very happy that the quality of callers you're getting and the people are really, really paying attention.
Yes, really, they're really engaged.
One of the things I do hope before I get into my piece, Mystic, is that I hope that the leadership for the People's National Party is.
Oh, you're gone out. Seems like your Wi-Fi strength is weak. Not hearing your call, or somehow you got
yes.
Okay, go ahead now. Yes. You're going in, you're coming in and out. You're coming in and out, caller. All right. If
yes, Mister, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you now, but you're in and out. You're in and out at intervals. Yeah, go ahead now. We are hearing you now.
Yeah, man. My brethren from Palm Beach, from Palm Beach.
Yes.
So, we just have to. Hello.
Yes, we are hearing you. We are hearing you. Go ahead.
Yes. It's a pleasure to hear your callers, man, and to show that us here in the diaspora are very, very very, very educated, and,
yes.
and we're paying attention.
Thank you so much.
One of the things that I hope is that the People's National Party, the party leadership, is listening to your show, recording your show, and taking notes.
Yes.
It's very important. The ladies and all the callers that you've had so far, Mystic, they have checked every single box.
Yes.
Check every box.
Yes.
One of the things that can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes. One of the things that I want to stress, Mystic, is that can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you. We are hearing you. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, one of the things I want to stress.
The communication is going in and out.
Okay. Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, we are hearing you now.
Yes. One of the things, Mystic, I want to stress is the fact that we shouldn't be surprised at this budget that they're putting out.
Yes.
Right? Because the IMF, the loan from the IMF comes with austerity measures.
That's true.
And it's no surprise that the new taxes, and it's not basically what it is in a Mystic, it's just a sales tax. It's a huge sales tax on consumers. That is what it is.
Yes, you're right.
And there's no surprise, and there should not be a surprise to Jamaicans of this, simply because the loan from IMF come with austerity measures. Every loan that every country takes from the IMF comes with austerity measures. This is just a part of that loan that they took from the IMF. They have to implement these austerity measures on the people in terms of sales tax. Sales tax is also austerity measures,
Yeah, exactly.
And it's no surprise. It should not be surprise to Jamaicans. And another thing that we need to also remind Jamaicans of. This is what you sold your votes for. When you sell yourself cheaply. This is what you have sold your throat for. And Jamaicans should not be surprised. The opposition told them of this. They were warned by you guys of this. And they still sold themselves and their votes for this. And don't remember, you know, a government is an extension of the people. And the Jamaican people themselves all wanted this, and they put this on themselves. You know, it's hard. We're sorry for them, but I hope those people who sell themselves a 10,000 or 5,000 a box food, I hope them put on half of the 10,000 and half of the 5,000 and put on half of the box food, because they're gonna need it.
But Carla, if you look on my screen here, as it relates to Angela Hastings 3873, right? You see what she says there? It is a shame, Mr. Byron. The people that must starve, not only the pregnant ladies, the whole entire hospital is hungry for food. I am teary-eyed right now. Carla, you see that?
Mystic. We have been saying this for a long time. Let's put into context Christopher Tough Tongue or Tough Teeth or whatever you want to call him.
This is just not right.
Could not put a band-aid on a sore foot if he saw one.
This is just not right.
We have a health minister who can tell you the dollar that he raises his budget to X, Y, and Z. But did he ever once tell the Jamaica public what he's doing with the resources that he have? Has he ever once told the Jamaica public what is his plan to save the Jamaica health system? What is his plan to create relief in the health system for the nurses and the doctors, and to make the health system work for Jamaicans? He has never once told Jamaicans that. The man is his background is in marketing, and he can buy and sell, like we see with the drill, like we see happening on the University of the West Indies. The man his background is in marketing. He can buy and sell anything he want to buy and sell, you know. But for him to come up with a comprehensive plan to save the health system within the country and create relief for the citizens, the nurses and the doctors, so they can provide their job. He cannot formulate a plan, but he can tell you, I moved my budget from 60 to 140 billion. What are you doing with that money? What
exactly.
For the money?
Look, when you see something like
we
this,
hear the labor rights all the time, Mister, come out and tell you and spit out dollar amount and dollar amount. But just pull back for a moment. Have they ever tell you a comprehensive plan for the dollar amount?
Exactly.
Have they ever tell you how them won't come back?
Exactly, sir.
Point and case. This bill that they're trying to pass for taxing YouTube and all these other cyber media. That's a bullshit. It ain't gonna work. It can't happen.
But also hold on, Carla, hold on.
What percentage of Jamaica operates out of Jamaica?
Carla, hold on there.
Platforms operate from the US.
Hold on there, Carla. Let me give you an strength. Because as it relates to the digital situation too, it is going to affect ABR, A, B, and B, sorry, yes. Because persons who have them website and you understand, they do connections through their website and so forth, and you understand, and do their business, it is going to affect them as well too,
Let me ask a question, Mystic. We know that there's a certain radio station nationwide that will 1.5 billion in taxes. This would affect them also.
Yes.
Will they be paying their taxes?
Well, that is not the question I expect you to ask. Andrew, unless his paying is?
No, I can answer it.
Well, that's a problem that we have here, man. That's a problem that we have here.
Mystic, the reason why the tax burden is so levied on the poor, but the poorer class, and the most unfortunate in Jamaica is simply because did we hear any new tax for Grace Kennedy? Did we hear any new tax for the hotels? Did we hear any new tax for all of these big companies, for all of these
Them not touch them corporate friend. Them not touch them corporate friend. Them not touch them corporate friend. And poor people them touch. Poor people them wicked too.
What
is the corporate taxes that is going to be? Is there any changes to corporate taxes in Jamaica?
I don't see one.
As a matter of fact, they get more tax break. If you look at it,
I don't see one.
So poor people in Jamaica, take note. You voted for this. I just hope that you have some of that 10,000 or 5,000 bags food put down, because you're going to need it. And this is a lesson you should learn. You had an opportunity, and I hate to be a revisionist. They had an opportunity to create a new Jamaica and turn the curve and create a new life for themselves. And they threw it away for box food and a couple thousand Jamaican dollars. And not only that mistake, don't forget, the IMF tell them that in the first quarter this year, the dollar should be at 200 to 1.
Well, guess what? Right? And them coming out lying about the dollar is at 160, right? Which doesn't reflect the economy. You understand? The dollar, as you said, right, is really roughly about might be 200 to 1.
Mistake. A couple of your callers asked questions about the tax. Where's the tax money going? The money that they're taking from NHT, this tax money and drink.
Where it is going? In them pocket.
Ask yourself, Mistake. Apart from their pocket, where else is the money going? Listen to, number one, the salaries for ministers, for parliamentarians. What percentage of the Jamaica budget is parliamentarian salary? Does Jamaicans know that? What percentage of the budget is parliamentarian salary? That's a huge percentage. Not only that, what percentage of the Jamaican budget is used to buy down the Jamaican dollar? These things are not. They're not. You can't contain them. You can't continue to live like this. You're spending more than you're earning, and you're spending it stupidly. You're spending it frivolously.
Exactly.
You can't continue. Mystic, I told you a couple of months ago that it's not. What they're doing is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. It can't continue. And right now, what they're doing is robbing Peter to pay Paul. You know that, right?
Oh yes.
Look at what they put out. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
And you're exactly right with that.
It is a huge sales tax. That's all it is. Because there's no corporate taxes in it.
Mighty God.
The big boys have no tax burden. The few that's there have no tax burden.
Because that was one of the things that I was looking for now, and I don't see any.
There's none. There's no corporate taxes. There's no corporate taxes in it. It's just a tax. It's just all it is a sales tax. All they did was just everything that is consumed is taxed. And that's why they can come tell you there's no new. Listen to what I'm talking about. There's no new taxes. They're not talking to poor people. They're talking to their corporate friends. There's no new taxes. There's no new taxes. That is the code to their corporate friends.
And you're right. That's a code to their corporate friends.
And they're taxing them by elevating just a sales tax.
Right.
And they come up with this cyber tax shit. That shit ain't even good. That wouldn't even, if that give them $50, they get $50 too damn much. That ain't gonna work. Okay, what? Pretend with the money that they hope to collect from that, they can't tax no platform over here. That's asinine. So people that have platforms in the US and overseas, they can't tax you.
Yes.
The tax can only come from Jamaicans in Jamaica who are using platforms. Platforms in Jamaica. How many Jamaicans? Jamaica's 2.8 million goddamn people. Okay. How many people in Jamaica even have a telephone that can create a website? Listen, how many people in Jamaica can host a website? How many platforms is there in Jamaica that they're hoping to collect this money from? Listen now, 1 + 1 is 2. It's not goddamn 11, Mystic.
Exactly.
If you sift through the shit, you'll find the mess. Okay? What they're putting on paper don't make sense. It doesn't add up. Nothing that they put out yesterday add up. Nothing adds up. Okay? And to case in point, they have not given you any specifics on anything, just numbers.
Yes.
Just numbers. When Mark Golding in the election came out and told Jamaicans what he was going to do. He gave you numbers, he gave you specifics, he told you where every single dollar was coming from, he told you how every single dollar was being spent. Have you ever in the last 11 years heard that from this government?
No.
Because them deaf, dumb, and blind. Listen, it's a bunch of deaf, dumb, and dummies leading each others. That's why they're like a dog chasing their tails, going around in circles with this thing. Listen, we Jamaican people just have to brace themselves because the worst is yet to come. And remember, the last time we spoke about this mistake.
Yes.
The worst is yet to come.
Worse is yet to come.
It's going to get
Believe
worse,
it.
and it's not going to get no better no time soon. Because
Exactly.
first of all, you don't have a government that have a sense of plan, a sense of direction. They spit out numbers, and they can tell you, we passed the biggest bill, we passed the most numbers, we have the biggest budget. Give me specifics. What is the accomplishment? What is the goal? What is the end result? How you plan to get it and how you plan to get there? What is it? When Christopher Tufton tell you, say, me have the biggest budget from $60 to $140 million. Okay, what does that mean? Jamaicans, ask yourself, what does that mean? What does it mean for you as a Jamaican when the health minister tells you that? When the prime minister come out and tell you this crap all time mouth about them about what they have achieved and what they have done, what does it mean? How does it relate to you in your life as a Jamaican? How does it affect you? What is the change in your life? Has it moved the needle in your life 1 centimeter? These are the things that we need to keep on this and keep asking these questions and ask the Jamaican people to look into themselves, look into their own lives. Don't look at the man up on the hill with the big house and the big car. We have thief everybody, a rob and kill and thief, and think that your life is good. His life is good, but there's no bread on your table.
And that's true. That's true.
We have to change the mentality of the Jamaicans. We have to frame our arguments to change the minds and the hearts of the Jamaicans and make them start wise up so that them can stop sell themselves for a box food and $10,000 and them name that off in a 1 day and see now hungry and starvation is setting and them have none out of the 10,000 and them have none of the box food left. What are they going to do? Because all these taxes, all these sales taxes, it's a sales tax. That's all it is. It's just a big sales tax on poor people who consume. And mark you, they tax the things that the poorest of the country consume.
Exactly. That is what has happened. That is what has happened.
They tax the things
that
the majority which is
poor. God, man, it's vicious, man. It's extremely vicious. Extremely vicious.
It's a heartless, it's a vicious government to poor people. It's a vicious government to poor people. This government is hell-bent on keeping Jamaicans underneath their feet. Remember, this was the same man who tell us, kiss him boot and vote for him. So, kiss him boot and vote for him. So he's hell-bent on keeping Jamaicans underneath his feet. And the PSOJ of Jamaica is a disgrace. Jamaicans have worked and built up a lot of these companies, and they have sold out the Jamaican people just for their own self-interest.
Exactly.
Just for their own self-interest.
Well, all right. Let me give you another minute. Let me give you another minute. Let me give you another minute to finish up, because we have some more. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. Blessings. So I mean. When we said we get calls like those, right, help to energize the movement, and he's 100% right. I mean, and that is what we talk about, crony capitalism, because what that level of taxation has done, you understand, is cruelty to the poor people, cruelty to the poor people who are suffering, and yet their corporate friends get all the blind. It's a vicious cycle and a crony capitalism and a Jamaica Labour Party. Vicious. But, we just want people to see and recognize that, particularly, right, the newer generation coming forward, the Gen Sec and so forth, right, to witness and observe the level of wickedness from the Jamaica Labour Party. Remember earlier I promised that I am going to show you a document, Jamaica people. And this document is telling all of us, how the People's National Party, as a result of even Portia Simpson fighting hard to get what? To eliminate corruption, And you have studies that show you what PG had done and what Portia had done, people, right? Look on this document. And I make sure that I am going to preserve this document, right? And I think this document, right, is really the first time, many of us, including myself, right, is going to see and hear the truth, right? The thing about this document was well researched, well done, right, by highly educated and professional people. All right. So let us get into this, my Jamaican people. Let us get into this. Okay, here it is. A landscape assessment of political corruption in Jamaica. And see, right? Here it is. A landscape assessment of political corruption in Jamaica, right, by Dr. Lyde Waller, Mr. Paul Byrne, MS Indiana Minto, and Dr. John Rapley. Let us get into this, my Jamaican people, right? Let us get to this. And these are the people, right? Lord Waller, right? Bachelors of Science, right? Master of Science, University of the West Indies. Let me just give you, right? You have Paul Andrew Byrne, right? He's finalizing a Master's of Science degree in demography and holds a Bachelor of Science degree in economics and demography. Now, Indiana D. Minto is currently employed as a research assistant at the Skull Center for Social Entrepreneurship based at the said business school at the University of Oxford. So we are telling you about highly educated people. John Rapley, BA, honors, right? Carlton, MA, PhD, Queens, with postdoctoral fellowship at Oxford University, right? So we are showing you, right, let us get into the executive summary. Now, and, we have to again applaud the People's National Party, right, as it relates to this fabulous research. I want to bring it up so that people can see clearly. Let me just get into that, right? Bring it up one more time. Okay, so now you have it, so you can see it for yourself. Now, from an economic perspective, corruption inhibits private investment and growth, distorts public investment, subverts the merit principle. And when we say subvert the merit principle, in Andrew Owen's governance, you see clearly that they have people in position that are not qualified. So this is what the researchers had discovered. From an economic perspective, corruption inhibits private investment and growth, distorts public investment, and subverts the merit principle. Reward those who do not play by the rules and contributes to undermining sustainable livelihoods in an economy, especially for the poor. You see what Andrew Wallace is doing now with the tax to suppress the poor. This Transparency International argues are costs which are normally shouldered by those who can least afford to bear the burden. Transparency International 2000. According to international organizations such as Transparency International and the World Bank, so this is no fool thing done here, saying. Understanding the dynamics of corruption through, among other things, perception of 1, how it is defined by a society. 2, its presence and prevalence in a society. 3, whether or not the people problematize it, right? Or it causes. 5, its impact on development. And 6, the effectiveness of detection mechanisms. And awareness of these issues plays an important role in improving the efficiency and effectiveness of government, engender good governance, and promote development. Although there has been much work done on various aspects of corruption in Jamaica by local, regional, and international bodies, not many research projects have sought to address these issues empirically. This study attempts to address this gap. The study presents the findings of a national survey on perceptions of corruption in Jamaica. My Jamaican people, make we delve into this, a deep dive into this. This research employed a descriptive research design, the survey research methodology, and sampled of 1,140 individuals residing in all 14 parishes across Jamaica. From the data analyzed, it was found that most persons interviewed, 1, define corruption as the misuse of public office for private gain. 2, believe that corruption was prevalent in all government institutions, but more so in the custom department, the police force. Remember, I know we have seen an entire dismantle of CTAC and the Andrew Holness administration and the parish council's offices. Now you talk about KSMAC and in general all municipal offices. You understand? The heart of the corruption lies. We're of the opinion that corruption is a serious problem in the country and negatively impacts on development. And this is why we are not seeing the growth that we ought to see. We are not seeing a proper healthcare structure, right? We are not seeing good governance overall. We have seen the Prime Minister involved in the corruption, as well as the Prime Minister cannot have his statutory declaration certified. Shame on you, Andrew Holness. You shouldn't even in our parliament. And 5, strongly believe that the anti-corruption rules are adequate, but government agencies are too weak to enforce them, and that these anti-corruption rules are adequate, but they are intentionally not enforced. We have seen the Prime Minister make an application in the court, wanted for the court to get rid of the anti-corruption law that speaks specifically to illicit enrichment. Mighty God. Me don't know how comes on a vote for him. Me don't know how comes on a vote for him. How can God earth this man involved in our parliament? And his wife is on the speaker's chair. How? Father God, we need answer. We need answer like right now. How can God earth this a thief in pussy? Thief and pussy. It is hope that the findings from this research will help us to better understand corruption and in particular how it impacts on the economic development of the country. Come people, come. I'm glad how me find this documentary, man. Come people. Come with me. Make a travel on myself. Introducing this text in March 2006 in her inaugural address, the most honorable Portia Lucretia Simpson Miller, Jamaica's first female prime minister, made the following oath. And let us deal with the following oath. That our primary advocate for justice, fighting against corruption, the most honorable Portia Simpson. Open quote. I want to pledge to the Jamaican people to work tirelessly to eradicate corruption and extortion. I am committed to their eradication. Jamaica Information Service, and that's end quote. Jamaica Information Service 2003. This assurance was the second of several goals she outlined to facilitate change in Jamaica. Portia Simpson, we love you dearly. Love you so much, Mama. Love you. Love you, gone to bed. It should therefore come as no surprise, neither to the novice nor the schooled Jamaican criminologist, that corruption claim high priority on the new Prime Minister's agenda. On the 2005 Transparency International Corruption Perception Index, Jamaica want to come with me now. Listen to this, which measures corruption among public officials and politicians within countries around the world. Jamaica received a score of 3.6 out of 10. We never know that. Jamaica, we never know that. Alan so good. PJ Patterson handling the economy. We never hear this. We never hear this. You know, we talk to the People's National Party. You know. It is things like this you need to take into Parliament and shut him up. When him attack, we can read back that over. On the 2005 Transparency International Corruption Perception Index, which measures corruption among public officials and politicians within countries around the world, Jamaica received a score of 3.6 out of 10, one of the best score ever. A score of 10 designate an almost clean slate where corruption is concerned, while 0 signifies a highly corrupt country. Jamaica's score of 3.6 placed the country 64th among the 158 countries surveyed within the Caribbean. Jamaica was 4th behind Barbados, which scored 6.9. Trinidad and Tobago and Cuba, which both scored 3.8. The island was, however, ranked higher, meaning less corrupt, than other Caribbean countries such as Dominican Republic 3.0 and 81.8. Jamaica Scholarship upholds some of these allegations of corruptions, right? So we want people to understand it now. We could go back up this. We want people to understand it, right? That on the 2005 Transparency International Corruption Perception Index, which measures corruption among public officials and politicians within countries around the world, Jamaica received a score of 3.6, right, during that time, out of 10, right, which is a low score, right? A score of 10 designate an almost clean slate where corruption is concerned, while 0 signify a highly corrupt country. Jamaica scored of 3.6 placed the country 64th and among the 150 countries surveyed. Within the Caribbean, Jamaica was 4th behind Barbados, which scored 6.9, Trinidad and Tobago and Cuba, which both scored 3.8. So the intensity in terms of Portia Simpson to fight corruption, because corruption was a serious concern in Jamaica. The island was, however, ranked higher, meaning less corrupt, than the other Caribbean countries such as Dominican Republic, which was 3.0 and 1.8. Jamaican Scholarship upholds some of these allegations of corruptions, right? Charles 2003, Harriet 2000, Monroe 1999. So too those sections of the Jamaican public, many of which often display a curiosity about the discourse of the corruption, particularly via radio talk show programs. This curiosity seems justified. Many Jamaicans have been witness through the popular media of claims but rarely convictions of bribery, extortion, fraud, nepotism, and cronyism which still exist. Persistent assertions in this regard appear to indicate a lack of integrity or honesty on the part of elected officials. The misuse of public office for private gain, which continue to happen, and other forms of kleptocracy, an informal, right, pejorative term used to describe a highly corrupt government, or one which is ruled by thugs and thieves. That's why we said Andrew Owen's administration is a kleptocratic administration. Such an environment, right? Where it is. Such an environment, a kleptocratic environment, is perhaps the most problematic for nation states, especially developing countries, and particularly Jamaica. This is best highlighted by Dr. Lloyd Barnett, a scholar on law and legality of Jamaica, who argues that. Now, the present reality of Jamaica is that laws governing acts of political corruption, the Jamaican Constitution, the Corruption Prevention Act of 1931, and Representation of the People's Act of 1944, are weak in some instances, are not enforced in others. However, recent amendment to the Corruption Prevention Act are indications of possibly strengthening of corruption laws. I want people to listen particularly where we are going as it relates to how, you understand, we are living and dealing with corruptions, right? This is even why some of the main entities monitoring corruption in Jamaica, such as the Commission of the Prevention of Corruption, have encountered challenges in pursuance of this duty. For instance, countless complaints by civil society and various radio talk show programs often suggest that some of these challenges, including political victimization and poor support from the Jamaican public, we explore some of these issues in this study. International organizations such as Transparency International argue that corruption is directly inhibited private investment and growth in development and lesser developed countries. Corruption also distorts public investment, undermines the democratic process, and contributes to undermining sustainable livelihoods in these economies, especially for the poor. Furthermore, it is believed that corruption can have a particularly negative effect on the functioning of a nation and on the ability of the institution in society to attain stated objective. Want to see the reason why? Right, we have to understand the history of corruption and why we need to get rid of corruption, because corruption can cripple an economy, right? And where Andrew Owen's kleptocratic government is in, that's exactly what it is doing today. Number 4, where a society is perceived to be highly corrupt, risk and hence predictability are heightened. Trust may be reduced and economic and social relations become more complex and costly. Potentially, these can have negative consequences for social relations insofar as citizen confidence is reduced, collective action and governance becomes difficult. Not many empirical studies have been undertaken in Jamaica to substantiate these hypotheses and assumptions. Certainly, lack of awareness among policymakers and development planners regarding how Jamaica perceives corruption is problematic, especially where effective and targeted policy making is concerned. Sensitization and awareness, capacity building, transparency strategies, introducing or amending legislation, and so on. The study attempts to address this gap and present the findings of national survey conducted in Jamaica in September of 2006, which sought to review the Jamaican political culture and economics since independence and make policy recommendations. The survey is an interdisciplinary study which utilizes quantitative methodologies and methods of data collection and analysis. The goal of the study is to capture current perception on corruption in Jamaica for the purpose of developing better policy solutions to enhance good governance. Research design. Now, because this document is long, right? I want to get to the point as it relates to what Mark Golden had done, because this is also in it. Let me see where I can find that and get to, because this is long and I'm not going to just read all of this. I want to just get to show, right, people the main points, right? Because I spent a whole time reading through this document, right? And what it is saying here, basically, right, that what saved the day is the People's National Party as it relates to the corruption and where it stands right now, right? Where, of course, the PNP, Mark Golden, as it relates to the Integrity Commission bill that shuttled into law, right, 2017, was what that give Jamaica its best result, right? So that was what I want. But I should have marked that page, right? So, and here is a chart. So let me just basically take this document. I'm going to put this document in the chat for people to read up on it. But at the end of this, to summarize this, right, it is telling you about the effort of the People's National Party in fighting the corruption and what happened as it relates to the 2017 Integrity Commission Act that put Jamaica to 44, and now it still remains at 44, right? Where it is at as a result of Mark Jefferson Golden. So when you look on that, Jamaica, it is for that reason, right, that corruption, we have to target it and we have to fight it. Now, look at how Singapore deals with corruption. Look at how Singapore deals with corruption. Let us get into it.
Singapore, a city-state known for its gleaming skyline, world-class efficiency, and one of the cleanest governments in the world. But few remember, in the 1950s, corruption was deeply rooted in its system. Back then, bribery was everywhere, from police officers to civil servants. Jobs, licenses, and even justice could be bought. Singapore was poor, divided, and corruption was a way of survival. When Lee Kuan Yew and his government took power in 1959, they made one thing clear: there shall be no tolerance for corruption, not even a little. The Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau, CPIB, originally formed in 1952, was given full independence. It could investigate anyone, including ministers and top officials. No one was above the law. The CPIB's strategy was simple but effective. Investigate thoroughly, prosecute quickly, publicize fairly. This transparency sent a strong message. Singapore was not for sale, but enforcement alone wasn't enough. Singapore restructured its system to remove the temptations of corruption. Officials were paid competitive salaries, matching those in the private sector to attract talent and remove the need for bribes. At the same time, laws were strict and punishments severe. If a minister or officer was caught, they were punished, regardless of rank. Even members of the ruling party were not spared. This built public trust and a culture where honesty became the norm. Today, Singapore ranks among the least corrupt countries in the world. Its clean reputation attracts global business, investment, and talent. All because one generation decided to say enough. Singapore's story reminds us corruption isn't impossible to defeat, but it takes political will, independent institutions, and zero tolerance at every level. If you believe clean governance starts with strong leadership. Like, share, and subscribe for more insights into how nations rise through discipline and integrity.
All right. So, people, you hear that as it relates to the fight against corruption and what Singapore has to do in dealing with corruption. This is what Jamaica has to do. Recognize that the man who is at the helm is extremely dangerous as it relates to our progress and success. And unless, right, we make sure that he's out of our politics before we can get any progress, we will not be able to get any progress. Let me give you an example, right? Here it is that the Prime Minister case file is at FID. Think of what I'm saying, people. The Prime Minister case file is at FID. And remember, to have that over the Prime Minister head as it relates to the level of corruption, and where the Prime Minister cannot move forward as it relates to the FID entity, you understand, coming out and say, okay, all right, what we are investigating, right, we don't see no issues with the Prime Minister here, right? The Prime Minister is okay and good. But FID will not come out and state that. Think of what I'm saying. How long this have been, right, in place as it relates to the information gone over to FID, going partially a year, and nothing coming out of FID. It is telling you, Jamaica, that Andrew Holness is in a conundrum. Andrew Holness is in a conundrum. Look at this, people. Look at what Andrew Holness is now doing. Look at this. Look at what Andrew Holness is now doing. Look at this, people. Look what the Prime Minister is now doing. Look at this. This is problematic for the Prime Minister. Holness seeks update on FID probe. There it is. Holness seeks update on FID probe. Right? Lawmakers should consider amending laws governing public bodies with investigative powers by including provisions to protect citizens from reputational damage. Legal experts have suggested. On a look at this, the very same thing that I have just read out as it relates to strong policies, right, to fight crime. Andrew Holness lawyers want to break them down. Lawmakers should consider amending the laws governing public bodies with investigative powers by including provisions to protect citizens from reputational damage. Legal experts have suggested. On a year of people. The suggestion come amid confirmation by the Sunday Gleaner that attorney of Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness requested an update from the Financial Investigation Division about its probe that is related to his still uncertified statutory declaration. Andrew Holness, you know that your statutory declaration can never able to certify. You know it. You know it. You're out of order. Right? Seeking any situation from FID. Right? What you want to hear? You're under investigation. And obviously, right, your statutory declaration is in a conundrum, is in a mess. You cannot explain it. And you are to be put into the judiciary and sent to prison if you're found guilty. The probe by the FID began in late 2024, people, after a request from the Integrity Commission for a deeper look into honest financial affairs based on concerns that were flagged in an investigation report by the IC, which was submitted to Parliament in September that year. So from 2024 now. From 2024 now. The IC is Jamaica's main anti-corruption body. Almost a year has elapsed since the reference of this report to your office, and therefore, in the circumstances, I request that your office provide an update to my client and the Integrity Commission. You're not going to get none. You're not going to get none. You're not going to get none. The Prime Minister's attorneys wrote in August 2025 letter, right, to the head of FID, Dennis Strong. Right? No matter how you put your friend there, your friend can't save you. Dennis Strong can't save you. Dennis Strong can't save you. The FID confirmed to the Sunday Gleaner that it received correspondence from attorneys representing owners inquiring about any investigation relating to their client. You're not going to get no information, Andrew. You're not get no information. That when they're ready, you understand, them just need to just come put on the handcuff for your backside. A written response was provided directing them to seek the relevant information from the Integrity Commission, as any investigative matters concerning their client rest with that body. The FID said in an email response on Thursday. The IC has not responded to questions that were submitted by the Sunday Gleaner on Friday. Jamaica authorities vested with investigative powers are not obliged to provide a citizen with an update on their investigation unless stipulated in their respective legislation, says King Counsel's Peter Champany, a top criminal defense attorney. Champany believes this could be a fillip of lawmakers, right, to take a fresh look at the legal framework for public bodies with investigative powers. They may want to revisit the legislation to say that there are to be provisions there to avoid any reputational harm, because I can see how somebody would be prejudiced. He suggested you can go on see Champany, right? You can go on see, right, what you want to see, right? Andrew Honest has more than years to explain his wealth and can't explain it. You can't explain your wealth. And at the same breath, and in the same breath, you have not revealed all of what you have owned. You have not. Even now as we speak, you have not done that. And so then the little that you hand over to the Integrity Commission investigators, you understand? You are still in a predicament. You are still in a predicament. Can you explain where you get $47 million from before you come into the politics? You can't explain that, Andrew. Can you explain that? You cannot explain that. You understand? So you keep yourself quiet and wait for the handcuff. Let us say someone is waiting on promotion or elevation to another office, and this is what is preventing them from being elevated. Right? Then you are prejudiced. No, you're not prejudiced. But you don't consider to the fact that if the authority had given Andrew Honest all the years, all the time, the patience for him to explain, right, how he come by his wealth, how can that be prejudice? Tell me. The Prime Minister cannot explain his wealth. Come Champany. How can that be prejudice? Is it the IC, the Integrity Commission investigators need to explain Andrew Honest's wealth for him? What he had submitted is problematic. Based on investigation, goes to the contrary of what he submitted. So then champagne. What you want to be done? Eh? You want them to overlook that? You want them to corrupt themselves and have a statutory declaration certified? Hell no. But it seems like that is what you want them to do. Corrupt themselves and have Andrew Honest statutory declaration certified. The Integrity Commission investigators had given him more than time. And if you give him 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 more years, he will not be able to do it. Which one of the questions that need to go forward, let me tell you, investigate the Integrity Commission. Andrew Honest need to explain the $47 million that he told Abka Fitz-Henley that he came in to the politics with. Where did he get it? Can he explain that? Him can't explain that. And I ask you, Andrew Honest. When I ask you, Andrew Honest, I tell you, you can't explain it. Right? So, Mr. Champagne, you need to take that in note. That attorney cited an example of provision built in the revised Bail Act enacted in 2023. Me don't care what you want to cite. Me don't care what you want to cite. Which allows for a suspect to be released on bail while the police continue their investigation of a possible crime. So what if you do? Certify him while them continue. It seems like that you say. Then certify him while them continue them investigation. Eh? Andrew Honest have to get himself certified by speaking the truth. And if Andrew Honest cannot explain his wealth, he cannot be certified. And he need to be tried and sent to prison. And then the last suspect can be released for initial period, which may be, I'm going to take with this because I can't read too much of the foolishness. You understand? I'm going to take with this. Think of these people. Right? That the Prime Minister now in a predicament. Look on it now, people. The Prime Minister is in a predicament. Cannot explain his wealth. Right? This is very serious, This is very serious. And why it is very serious? Because the continuation of the criminality. Because it gone now, the criminality now gone in a process, you understand, of normalization. Because people are not reacting, you understand, as it relates to the disgust of the corruption. And so then he's emboldened. Now, when we look and we get 6.7 million US dollars from IMF, and we get multiple millions of dollars as it relates to aid, we get tons of aid. Remember now, October 28th, Melissa, and as we speak, Jamaican people, 4 months, tell Andrew Honest to come out, right? As it relates to the amount of persons who are affected. How much percent of that affected zone that he assisted? How much percent of persons affected that he assisted, he helped? How many homes that he had rebuilt? That is the question that we need to ask. Going 4 months. Going 4 months. And all that he's doing, PR. He makes sure and ensure that there's no checks and balance system at ADPEM. He makes sure of that. And so then Darrell Vaz can go in at ADPEM. Take out what he needs to take out of ADPEM. And cook up false procurement for steal $12 million. You know, see them on them dibby. You know, see them dibby. And them continue them craft. Right? So that is vicious. And how the laws, the criminal justice system, as it relates to the prosecution, being one-sided. Look on this one-sided business and all my Jamaican people. Look on this now. Right? We're going to show you so we have some serious concern about this DPP. No joke. Look at this situation now, my Jamaican people. Look at this. Let me share this with you. Let me just share this with you. Right? The level of partiality. Look at this now. And this is the seriousness of Andrew Holness administration, you know. Watch this now, people. Judge questions police station bail practices during SSP Wayne Cameron court appearance. Now, Jamaican people, we could just deal with something here. Wayne Cameron been going through all of this because Wayne Cameron affiliation with the People's National Party in terms of course, he supports the People's National Party. The man has a right, a fundamental right to support which political party he wants to support. But the system itself, I am showing you that the system is penalizing people who they believe associated with the People's National Party. And so then if you are associated with the People's National Party, your justice is not going to be in your favor. Think of what I'm saying, people. This is serious. The parish court, but me go ask the judge or something. A judge in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court today raised questions about the police station bail practices as she expressed concern about the sum of the station bail granted to chairman of the police officers. A politics chaplain. Politics chaplain with this. Association PO Senior Superintendent Wayne Cameron, who is accused of stealing 15 million for the association. When you hear that, people? Cameron was last month charged with 5 counts of fraudulent conversion and 6 counts of larceny as a servant and was granted station bail in the sum of 500,000. So the judge now, they lick out and I say he shouldn't get station bail. You understand? As it relates to that amount, I shouldn't get station bail any at all. Right? Now, during the first court appearance today, Senior Parish Judge Sancha Burrell expressed concern about the bail amount, but declined to vary it. So what she's saying now that, look here, the bail amount is too small. I am not happy. Let me quote her. I am not happy with it, but I am not going to touch it, the judge said. So I'm just make a political thing, about it, You understand? Because guess what? You know the reason why she's not going to touch it? Because if she touch it, questions like what I am going to ask in the next clip is going to come about. And they themselves are culpable. They themselves, they will just expose themselves that they are hypocrites. Let me show you why I said that they are exposing themselves to be hypocrite. And making statement to the fact that they believe that Cameron associated with the People's National Party. Now, look here now. So, Judge, I am going to ask you a question now in this situation that I'm going to show. I am going to show you and expose you that you're a hypocrite. Look at this now. Look at this now, Judge. This is what we like when you do them something, when you behave like this and we show you that you're a hypocrite. Right? Look at this. Look at this, Judge. Come here. Look go down at this. SSL executives face court January 26, I want to ask you something, you know. So I keep this on a wrap. Because January 26th just gone. Right? And we don't hear nothing. We don't hear nothing what going on this court hearing here, you know. See that? This came out December 29, 2025. SSL exec face court January 26. Oh, we don't hear nothing what took place in this court here, January 26. Law enforcement officials are seeking to quell public criticism of the near 3-year investigation into the alleged multi-billion-dollar fraud at Collapse investment firm Stocks and Security Limited. Inspector Brenton Williams, head of the Constabulary Financial Unit, called the alleged $5 billion fraud long-standing and sophisticated and said the complexity of the investigation cannot be overstated. Proving it, Williams said, required a comprehensive review of events dating back to SSL inception in 2006, including careful analysis of investors' activity and how funds move over the 17-year period before it collapsed. We understand the public expectation for swift results and that delays can be viewed negatively. Work of this nature takes time and must be done diligently, he said in a public statement released late yesterday by the Financial Investigation Division, the agency leading the probe. However, the JCF and FID and our law enforcement partners, including MOCA, have the capacity and the expertise to conduct these investigations thoroughly and bring matters forward in keeping with the rule of law, added Williams, making reference to the Jamaican Constabulary Force and the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency. We want to make sure, say, right, when you take out CTAC can't come here, so they're a criminal. The assertions came a day after 3 former SSL executives were arrested during a series of coordinated operations in St. Andrew and St. James. Right? Later on Sunday, the 3 founding director, Hugh Cross-Carey, his daughter, Sarah Meany, and former Chief Executive Officer Zachary Arden were each charged with breaching key laws governing the financial sector. Right? The FID confirmed. All 3 have been charged with fraudulent inducing persons to invest, failure to register a company carrying on business in Jamaica, carrying on a security business without a dealer's license, failure to apply to the Financial Services Commission to be registered for security issued, and breaches of the Banking Service Act. Similar charges have also been laid against SSL, the Harding-led Delta Capital Partners Limited, and SSL Growth Equity Limited, the FID said. The charges fall under Security Act, the Bank of Jamaica Act, the Banking Service Act, and the Larceny Act. Harding was also charged with breaching the Companies Act. Now, Cross-Carey and Meany were released on bail on the sum of $1 million. So let me ask you now, come back here now, Judge. Come back here, Judge. This is what I want to ask you about now. So then, Senior Superintendent Cameron, how much money you want to accuse him of as it relates to him so-called misappropriate? How much money, sir? Right? And because Senior Superintendent Cameron got a 500,000 bail, you, the judge, vex. You, the judge, vex. Because no, I'm associated with People's National Party. Even if you get 500,000 bail. And so then you're upset. But you know, you're not going to say anything. You're going to leave it alone. You better backside leave it alone. Because you know some mystic sensation out here. And you have to left here alone. You better backside leave it alone. Because, come here, Judge. Let me talk to you about this. How much money Cross-Carey them rob up Me dey ask you, judge. You judge. You're political activist. Me dey ask you a question. How much money cross carry them rob up? No about $5 billion. No about $5 billion. For them for criminal charges that we read before. How much he get released from? Cross carry and Meany were released and bail in the sum of 1 million. 1 million of billions of dollars they rob from poor people. You never see this, Judge. So let me ask you a question, Judge. Do you upset about this? Huh? I've never heard you comment on this. So, Judge, did you make any comment on this? Here it is in your face, Judge. Cross-carry and Meany were released and bail in the sum of $1 million as a matter of fact, a station bail them getting, a Judge. A station bail them are getting. But Judge, no. You agree with this? Because they're affiliated with the Jamaican Labour Party. And so then, okay, this is fine. This is fine. This is okay. They are allowed to rob $5 billion and allowed to get station bail for $1 million. So, Judge, how me not hear your comment on this? So this is why you leave it alone. Eh? You know, should I touch it? You know, should I touch it? So let me just cut with this to show you that you're a political operative. You're a political operative. And we catch you red-handed. Right? So you don't have nothing to say now. Are you going to, we are anticipating for you to speak on that issue. All right? I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you have not heard anything of the sort as it relates to their bail amount. You haven't heard anything of the sort. Woo! Time pass. Okay, all right, cool. All right, my Jamaican people. I am going to end it right here. And you know, so later we are going to forward. So guess what? I want to say big thanks to you all to make it Mystic Sensation. And as I said, later will be greater. You will have likes like the melting pot, right? And of course, my wife will be here at the technical desk. So looking forward to speak with you later. So my people, my brothers, my sisters and brothers, walk good. See you. Love you. All right. Walk good, my people. Bless up yourself.
I know why you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right start that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.